Aloha, friends. I am wanting to come on here today to talk about some of the trainings that I've been doing this past month and just share how passionate I am about sharing them with you and the reasons that I feel so passionate about it. I feel like so many of you have been following me for a long time and know of my own journey with mental health and how much of a challenge it's been in my life to overcome certain things like depression and anxiety. And specifically being sexually abused at a young age, it really inflicted a lot of pain and fear and struggles in my internal world that prevented me from being able to show up in the ways that I've always wanted to. And at the same time, so many of you have reflected that you never saw me in that way, and that I've always been so inspiring, have done the things that I've wanted to do for so long, which I have. I've done so much in my life, and I recognize that has always been there. And at the same time, my internal world has felt very unstable, and I have felt very insecure within myself for a long time in my life. And so the past few months, I have been traveling with someone who introduced these techniques into my life and has been practicing them with me consistently and showing me how to use them and integrate them and implement them into the work that I do with my henna. And the first one that I was able to start practicing was NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. And what this is a method of working with the language of the brain. It's basically like working with the ways that we have, that we speak to ourselves and that we speak about life, and being able to reframe certain things and getting clear on our intentions and our outcomes. And basically it's like, reframing a way that we're looking at something so that we can feel more empowered about it. And this has to do a lot with the brain and the conscious mind. And then the next training that I did was hypnotherapy training, which is something that was incredibly impactful in my own healing journey. I had PTSD until I was about 24 years old, until I found a hypnotherapist. And I had tried every other kind of therapy that there was, that I had access to. And none of it had been effective in helping me move past the flashbacks and the nightmares and the memories of the sexual abuse that I had experienced that was really holding me back from being able to hold a job and to get out of bed in the morning and to maintain healthy relationships or make money for myself. And it was just really debilitating at the time. And so when I received a hypnotherapy session, it allowed me to go past the conscious mind into the subconscious mind, where the memories lied, where they were staying in my body, and I was able to re-imprint and readjust my experience of that experience when I was a kid, and it completely released and reframed and healed my experience of having PTSD and feeling disempowered. And so that for me was extremely profound, and I had always wanted to do hypnotherapy training, but I never have wanted to spend the many years in college or school to learn these methods. And so this training came into my field, and I just knew immediately that it was time. And so, like I said, this hypnotherapy is allowing us to go to the deeper layers of our mind, into our subconscious, the parts of us, the parts of our human experience that we're not always consciously aware of, where the memory of these traumatic events, these traumatic memories, are stored in our bodies and in our nervous systems, and we're able to rework them without re-triggering them, and we're able to mend and heal and shift the experience for us so that it can shift the experience of our life. And so if you're experiencing things like depression and anxiety, and it's coming from a specific event that you had experienced, or like a traumatic event that you had, we can go back and rework that. And in general, you can use this modality to implement a new vibration or a new emotion that you would like to feel. So if you're struggling with like anxiety and you just want to feel peace, we can use hypnosis to implement peace. And the idea behind this is that you, as the client, and myself as well, we all have the resources that we need within us. It's assuming that we have everything we need. It's just not always accessible because of the experiences that we have that can put layers onto the resources that we have. And what these therapies help is to get back to those resources and to help you become aware of your own power and the ways that you have access to whatever it is that you want, and you're able to shift that quickly and within these sessions with a facilitator. And so those were the first 2 weeks of trainings that I did. And then the next week of training that I did was something called Family Constellations. And Family Constellations is not so much newer technique, but it is a technique that is just now becoming more well known because it is so effective. It is starting to revolutionize the therapy space. And for myself, out of all of the therapy that I have done, including hypnotherapy, this method is the most effective that I have ever taken part of and ever experienced in my life. And so what Family Constellations is a very hard thing to explain unless you experience it. But it's essentially looking at the way that parts of a system relate with one another and putting things back in the place that they're supposed to be. So in a family system, we take a look at how a person relates to their parents, their mother, their father, their siblings, perhaps their grandmother on either side, their grandfather on either side. And we're basically going back in your family lineage, and we are looking at the patterns that have been continuously passed down through your lineage to you as the client, as someone who is now living a life where there's these things that just keep holding you back, or they keep creating challenges in your relationships or your work life or your day-to-day life. And we are going into a visualization, a very somatic experience of speaking with the people that these patterns came from, and taking back our power by speaking healing statements into those relationships so that you can move forward without carrying those patterns anymore. And this, for me, has been extremely life-changing. I've had several constellations done now at this point. After doing all the trainings, traveling with this person for a few months, I was able to receive several one-on-ones, and it is just immensely creative. There are so many ways that we can go about it. It is immensely effective. It is just completely transforming the experience that you've had of life and helping you to shift into a new experience so that you don't have to be bound to these patterns or these behaviors that have been passed to you. And so in this constellations work, in family constellations that I am now facilitating, we are also utilizing a lot of the NLP and the hypnotherapy techniques, and those were the prerequisites for me to do the family constellations training. And because of the prerequisites of the NLP and hypnotherapy, I'm able to help a client achieve a desired outcome. So we will start by discovering and uncovering what the biggest issue is and getting clear on what you would like instead, and going into a meditation that will help you to bring an ancestor forward so that you can work with your ancestors or see who wants to lead you into finding the answers within yourself during this whole experience so that you can start to release this pattern that you're wanting to release. And from there, we will go into a visualization where I will guide you to speak what it is that you would like to speak or needs to be said to the people in your family where these patterns come from, and to help heal your relationship with that person in your own visualization and your own experience within this session, and to have to put things back in their rightful place so that you're not carrying them anymore. And we will possibly do this with both sides of your family, so your mother and your father, and any other important aspects of your family system that have been playing into this pattern or this struggle that you've been having. We can address those, and we can heal those and help you move forward into a new way of being. And that is what we call the future pace. And so after this session is done with your families or your the dynamics that need to be explored for you to cut those cords and to let go of those attachments and stories and beliefs and patterns, we will then pull in parts that you want to integrate and like embody within yourself, and have you step forward into that in your visualization and in your life, so that you can start to integrate this and implement these new things and new ways of being into your everyday life. And then after the session, we will talk about it and we will reflect, and I will share information on how to move forward so that you can like integrate and process all of this and allow it to sink in. I've been working with several women this week who are around my age and older, and we've been addressing some of the patterns that they have felt like have held them back in really significant ways, such as in intimate relationships and not feeling like they're open to receiving love, and such as feeling disempowered in their business and not being able to do and grow in the ways that they want to, and opening up to a whole new way of being so that they can step into that because they released the bondages of their past and of their family dynamics, and stepping into their fate and their power and their purpose. And the amount of impact that I have seen this have in their lives is just continuous, and for myself as well has been extremely profound. And I have been integrating this past 2 weeks since I got back from these trainings, because I received many constellations for myself that were wildly impactful and transformative for me. I feel it just in the way that I speak, and that I'm able to show up now in a completely different way, because I've been releasing a lot of my own patterns, such as feeling like a victim, feeling disempowered, feeling insecure, feeling like very small, or feeling a lot of shame. And I've completely transformed that into feeling confident and feeling powerful. And I wish that I could speak more into the experiences that these clients of mine have had, but the reflections that they've been sharing is that they have been feeling completely renewed. Some of them have been having their appetite return, and they didn't even really feel like it was an issue before. They're feeling completely different towards the members in their family that they were having issues with before. They're feeling more empowered to take action and to nurture themselves, or whatever it was that their outcome was that they wanted. They have now been reflecting that they're achieving it, and in ways that they never thought that they would, or that they didn't even expect. And it's becoming a really passionate thing for me. I have been on my own healing journey for many, many years, and wished that I had access to modalities like this that were so effective, even just from one session. And these sessions can look anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. 2 hours is best to plan for if we're doing family constellations. But if you're just interested in working with me to do just a hypnotherapy session, or we can just do a discovery call to talk about it more and to see what the issue is and how this could be of help to you, we can start there. And I would really love to practice with you and share this with you and facilitate this healing for you and with you. It is a collaborative thing. There is a lot of talking and sharing so that you're the one that's leading it, but I'm the one that's guiding it. So you're the one that's expressing the direction you want to go, and I'm here to facilitate and to hold that space for you. And it's truly just becoming such a beautiful part of my life to help people to do this healing work for themselves and within their own family dynamics. This is a form of really deep healing for generational trauma, ancestral healing, and it's something that I'm just going to continue sharing about because it is incredibly powerful and incredibly effective, and I just want everyone who is ready to experience this to experience it. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being interested. Thank you for being on your own healing journey. And I'm here to answer questions or to talk more with anybody who would like to.